What if I told you that I built a live app, hosted a 3.5 hour event, co-ran it, marketed it solo, live streamed it to YouTube, extended access out of literally pure love, and somehow still didn't manage to pitch my own offer at the end? Yep, that happened. And before you say, Anacani, how? I need you to know that I am telling you this story not because it was a disaster by any means, but because it was one of the most real, most revealing, and most soul expanding things that I have ever done in this business. And I think you need to hear it, especially if you've ever said yes to something really big before you were really ready, over-delivered because your heart would not let you do otherwise, or walked away from something thinking, I see exactly what I need to fix now. That, my friend, is not failure. That is data. It is growth. And today we are unpacking all of it. So grab your cup of whatever's keeping you grounded and let's dive in. Welcome to Heart-Led CEO, the podcast for women wellness entrepreneurs who are ready to build, scale, and automate their businesses without sacrificing their soul, sanity, or authenticity. I'm Anacani Walters, a nurse turned entrepreneur, military spouse, first-time mama in my 40s, and a recovering burnout survivor who's making it a mission to help heart-led women just like you create thriving businesses that really feel good, do good, and give you the freedom that we all deserve. Because here's the thing, you don't have to hustle harder to succeed. You don't have to drown in tech overwhelm or try to do everything alone. And I'm here to give you the strategies, automation tools, and mindset shifts that will help you step fully into that leader, CEO, and impact maker that you are meant to be. If you're ready to grow your business in a way that aligns with your values and your life, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome back for another episode. Oh, we have so much to talk about. I'm still riding the wave of the SHEBuilds Oahu event, and I wanted to make sure that we talked about it. I wasn't sure what to really follow up SHEBuilds Oahu with, and if you've been following me on my Instagram, you already know that SHEBuilds Oahu event was absolutely amazing. And I am feeling all the things right now. I'm feeling both energized and exhausted. I'm feeling reflective, but I'm also feeling vulnerable and tender. And I'm exhausted again as I'm reflecting, but so proud. So basically, I'm like a walking Oprah episode. But guess what? I brought snacks. So today I want to give you just a real, unfiltered, behind-the-scenes debrief of this live lunch. The wins, the gaps, the lessons that I learned, and I want to share something exciting that I feel came out of this event, and I think it's going to change the game for so many of you like non-tech founders who are watching this wave of AI, especially in the vibe coding space, and thinking, is this actually for me? Spoiler alert, yes, it is, and I proved it this past weekend. But first, let's talk about SHEBuilds Oahu because I want to really get into it. So here's the context if you don't know what I'm talking about. Lovable put on a global event called SHEBuilds, and they paired up with Anthropic and Stripe to put this together. And for 24 hours, Lovable, the vibe coding platform, mostly known for websites, but it's branched out and you can do a lot more with it. Everything was free, almost. There were some advanced features that were not free, but for the most part, you had unlimited tokens to vibe code your heart's little desire. And they had sponsored some people who put in applications to host a live in-person like vibe coding party to support the global event. And they had a map and you can go in there and look for people hosting in-person vibe coding event, or you can just join them globally, virtually from your home. They had some type of a virtual like in-person event like in Stockholm, and you could also join them on Discord if you needed any chat support. And I couldn't find any locally here. So I took it upon myself and decided, you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. I am going to create my own in-person event. It's not going to be sponsored, but I don't care. We decided to do SHEBuilds Oahu. It was going to be live. It was going to be in person right here on the island. We had 17 people registered, 14 people showed up, and y'all, we had 2 men who came and braved it with us. 2 men, like at an all-women's entrepreneur AI event, and they were engaged. Like they were taking notes, they were nodding, they were asking questions, they were genuinely excited. And for those of you who might be listening who are gentlemen, I see you and I respect that deeply. Now, I had a co-host, shout out to Heather. She brought snacks, she helped me spread the word, she really helped me network to try to find the venue. But a lot of the people that she was connecting me with were larger corporate entities. And so while she was working on that end, I ended up working on like the more local mom pops kind of businesses, and I ended up finding one, the Boba Room, who is actually, surprisingly to me, is an ownership from a husband and wife. The wife is a wellness practitioner, and the husband, he's a retired military vet. So that was really, really cool to find out and meet him and know that he has actually a background in AI and that this event really sparked something in him. So it was fantastic. Like that just by itself was like my win. And I loved Heather for it. She really was helping me. She knows a lot of people on island. And so people trusted her as she helped me spread the word, and we got almost booked, but I really just want to be transparent and honest. So I made the connection with the venue, the Boba Room, which if you already don't know, I'm obsessed with. It was adorable. It is such an amazing space. It's so vibrant and just brought the right vibe to the event. It's here in Oahu, so if you ever need a cute event space, write that down, the Boba Room in Waipahu. And I did the majority of the social marketing. I built out the Lovable app that we were demoing live, and I live streamed the whole 3.5 hours to my YouTube channel. And it was a lot. And it was a lot because it was last minute. It was also a lot because I was really being rushed, because it was just spare of the moment. And I just got on island, so I don't know too much people other than the few connections that I've made. And that made it a little bit harder because I was trying to pull a bunch of strings at the same time. And it was a lot because Heather was also busy with her own life and her own business. And since I already had the full vision in my head, which is both a gift and a curse, I'm not going to lie, I know y'all can relate that I just took point on everything. And here's the yoga lesson that I keep coming back to. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And I do this in my business regularly. I see the whole picture so clearly that I just grab it, I run with it, I do all the things. And sometimes that's really powerful for momentum. And sometimes it's faster to do it myself. And if you can relate, let me know. Say yes in the comments, wherever you're listening to this to, especially if you're nodding along. I felt like at the end, reflecting back, I probably could have given more handoff to Heather, but she was following my lead. And I was like, I got it, I got it, I got it. And so lesson number 1 is let go sometimes. And things will just build so much bigger, better, and faster when we do it together. Now, this leads perfectly into what I really want to talk about. And so I'm going to give you the real CEO audit because I think this is where sometimes we find gold. And I'm going to give you the gaps of what I really learned. They're going to be raw and they're going to be real. Here we go. No judgment. Gap number 1, I did not prioritize the tax setup. And let me tell you, this sucked. The YouTube stream did go live for the full 3.5 hours. It was beautiful. There was actually 7 people, I think, who watched it. But guess what? They watched it post-event. It was set to private. And I'm like, no. When I figured it out, private, you guys, I want you to sit with that for a moment. A 3.5 hour live stream, private. That's like throwing a concert and locking the front door. And you know what? I'm not mad at myself about it. I'm putting it out in the debrief as a lesson because this is exactly what happens when we're the visionary and the operator and the tech person and the host and the marketer and the MC. Something is going to slip, and that's not a character flaw for us. That's a capacity issue, which leads me to gap number 2, that I didn't pitch my offer at the end. And I know my coach, Molly, would be like, oh, somewhere clenching her chest right now if she heard this. Here's what happened. I poured everything into that room. I built the app. I was editing it live as people were coming up with problems, things that they're like, I would really like it if this, da 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 da. I was like, I got you. I would run to my laptop. I would make the changes, tell them to refresh. I was streaming my screen live so that they could watch me edit the app live. I was answering questions. I extended access to the Build Lab tool because people were so impressed by what they were experiencing in the Build Lab, which was part of the app that I built with Lovable. And a lot of that was so that they could see what was possible. And I originally had that app close like an hour after the live event was supposed to go away. And listening to people's stories, like my heart just could not say no when they asked, could we have an extended access to it? And then the event ended. People were buzzing, and I floated into like this after energy without ever saying, and here's the next step. And that, like, I am very empathic. And so it takes a lot of energy for me to be sparkly and mermaid vibes and talking and smiling and creating the energy that I want people to have. But it's incredibly exhausting on the back end for me. Like by the end, by the time I got to my BFF Tabitha, who stayed till the end, she was like, you're done. I was like, yes. Like I was so tapped out from energy, not because the energy around me was bad, but just because I absorb a lot of it and I had to put so much out. And coming from Japan, where it's a different environment, different set of people, it's just different. It was a lot of energy that I haven't had practice putting out, that by the time the rush of everything came down, I completely was like chasing myself, trying to be like, oh my gosh, I forgot this. And then when I got home, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell them the next step and pitch my workshop to take this a little bit further. And this is sometimes we talk about, I think I talked about it in another episode, is always have your one call to action decided before you start creating. I should have announced it in the very beginning so that it set the tone, and then the offer clarity becomes the content clarity. And I know this, I teach it, and I still did the thing. So know that you're not alone, that it happens. And the truth is that, we're heart-led. Sometimes our generosity runs ahead of our strategy. And I don't want us to feel shame of that. We just need to redirect it and learn. Now, gap number 3, I could have handed off more. Shout out to my beautiful co-host, Heather. I was so in my head about having the vision that I didn't trust that someone else could hold a piece of it. And I have to honor that. And Heather is wonderful. She showed up. She was radiant. She was supportive. But I could have said, hey, can you own the tax setup checklist? Or can you be the one who pitches the offer at the end? And we didn't even talk about that. But delegation isn't losing control, my beautiful friend. Delegation is actually trusting your wave enough to let someone else paddle for a minute. And I want you to just kind of let that one sit, because that one is very hard for me to relinquish control. Now, the wins, because my beautiful friend, there were so many. Let's talk about what actually happened in the room, because despite all of the things that I found as gaps, the event was still magical. 14 people showed up on a Sunday in Hawaii, where there's beaches and there's commitments and there's families and there's business responsibilities, usually the day before the week starts when people are trying to sort their lives. They came with their possibility scarves on, and they left with their minds completely blown open. People kept saying they were impressed by the build lab tool that I had built. They wanted extended access. They were excited. They were asking questions. They were imagining that they could build so much while still realizing like the reality and being appreciative of my transparency with that. And that exact moment when you watch really someone shift from, I could probably never do this, to wait, seeing their app idea transform in front of them in real time. That is why I love doing this work. Like that aha moment, that light bulb, that smile when you're like, oh my gosh, I just built my own app. That is the whole wave of why I even said yes to this. And the email capture didn't work perfectly on the Lovable side, but I had already built in an admin dashboard, so I was able to export everybody into a CSV. Did it go as planned? No. Did I have a backup plan? Absolutely. And the fact that I could see the gaps clearly at the end was my sign that I'm maturing as my own CEO and that I can optimize now, because in reality, we can't optimize what we can't see. And sometimes we can't see what we can't see until we actually do it. But here's the thing that keeps coming back to me and kept coming back to me during like this whole experience. In yoga, we talk about the difference between effort and force, because effort is sustainable. Like effort has breath in it. And force is when you're gripping so hard that you're shaking, but we try to call it strength. And I was forcing a lot in this event, and the room still received something beautiful. But next time, we're going to combine that love with a little bit more structure and more delegation and more tech checks before we actually go live. Because we are going to go live way more, because why? Practice makes perfect, just like everything else, from yoga to business. A private YouTube stream is a one-time lesson, and we get to try again and make sure that it is a lesson that we learn from. Now, I want to bring you into the exciting announcement that coming out of the SHEBuilds Oahu, the one thing that people kept gravitating towards was the app. They wanted to build, and they wanted to have the ability to build beyond the actual event. And they wanted to know like how to take really that idea, not just the tech idea, not a coding idea, just like the human idea, and turn it into a real functional, monetizable AI thing, whether it was an app or a website or a course. And because I believe that information without implementation is really just pretty much entertainment, I am hosting a live workshop on March 20th at 7 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. And I'm calling it the App Monetization Playbook for Non-Tech Founders. And it's really a follow-up to the SHEBuilds Oahu event, where if you walked away with a viable product that you now are ready to monetize but have no idea how to, then this is your workshop. We're going to cover how to validate your app idea before you build it, so that you're creating something that's people are going to want to buy, not just something cute, which we did talk about in the lab itself. But for those who didn't attend the live in-person lab, we're going to do a kind of a walkthrough of it again, so that you can take that information into future builds. We're also going to walk through the monetization strategy, how to price it, how to position it, how to make it a lead magnet or a low ticket offer that flows into your bigger work, or something that supports your bigger work. And then we're going to look at what tools you actually need that don't require a lot of coding or engineer degree. If you're completely new to AI or you've never heard of vibe coding, this is still built for you. This is for the person who has an idea literally at 2 a.m. and don't know what to do with it. It's for the wellness entrepreneur who watched me build a live app at the SHEBuilds and thought, could I actually do that? Yes. Yes, you can. If you went back and watched my live YouTube stream and got excited from just watching us be in the room This is exactly why I wanted to create a follow-up workshop. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can build it. I've rebuilt the platform that I created in Lovable in my preferred choice for vibe coding. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm putting the final touches. You're going to get access. The first people to get access to this magnificent app that I've created, grab your seat if you are feeling the vibes and the waves of this. The link's going to be in the show note. It is going to be March 20th, 7 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. It's only $37. And don't wait on this one because it is really about jumping in, and you're going to get a replay. It's going to be intimate. It is going to be hands-on, and it's going to be so much fun. Okay, so I just want to recap because that was a lot. Let's ride out this wave and bring it back to the shore. Here's what I want you to walk away with today because I talked about a lot. 1, showing up imperfectly is still showing up. 14 people in a room on a Sunday in a beach island is an absolute win. A private YouTube stream is a lesson, and both are true. Number 2, know your offer before the event. Decide the call to action first. Mention it. Get permission if people like, hey, at the end of this, I have a special invitation or an opportunity to work with me. If you're ready to take whatever you built today to the next step. And that would have set the tone. It would have gave me a gentle reminder, and it would have planted the ear in everybody. But I just didn't come as prepared as I thought. I was too focused on the small little things that I didn't focus on the stuff that mattered. Content and energy follow clarity, not the other way around. 3, your heart-led approach is not the problem. It's actually your superpower. We just have to pair it with a little bit more structure so that it doesn't burn us out in the process. 4, the gap you can see are the gifts that you get to grow. When you get CEO eyes on your own business is a skill, and do not treat it as a punishment. And the final one, if you've been watching vibe coding from the sidelines, from the shore, thinking it's not for you, I highly recommend you come to my workshop on March 20th. It's a small investment. You're absolutely welcome to come, even if it's just to put on your possibility scarf and see what is out there. I hope to see you there. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with a fellow heart-led entrepreneur who needs to hear that messy and magical can exist in the same breath. And if you want to grab the 12 signs that you're stuck in a clarity gap checklist, it's free, it's really, really good, and it will tell you exactly what's blocking your momentum right now. You can head to my Instagram account at EmpowerHerWave and just comment the word 12, TWELVE, on any of my posts, and I'll send it straight to your DMs. There's no opt-ins, there's no fluff. It's just beautiful magic in your DM. As always, my beautiful, beautiful, lovely friend, thank you for being here and riding this wave with me. Continue to be you, continue to be beautiful, continue leading from your heart. I'll catch you in the next episode. All right, beautiful. That's a wrap on today's episode. But before you go, let's talk about something really important. You are not just another entrepreneur trying to figure things out alone. You are a wave leader, someone whose work is meant to create real impact, touch the lives of others, and make this world better. And I want you to know you don't have to do it alone. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to keep this energy going inside of my free Facebook community, Empower Her Biz Collective. It's where we take these conversations deeper with live trainings, tech walkthroughs, and real heart-centered support from other women wellness entrepreneurs who really get it. So if you're ready for community, clarity, and support as you build your own business with heart and ease, I'd invite you to come and join us. You'll find the link in the show notes. And hey, if you loved today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review if you feel inclined, and share this with a fellow heart-led women entrepreneur so that we can build this movement together. Until next time, keep leading with heart.